Good evening, my friends on Facebook. How are we doing this evening? This is Johnny Suede, coming to you live, battling through a little bit of a cold and a lot of a toothache. When you get these things, boys, sometimes you just can't do enough to get rid of them. And avoided the dentist here for a couple of days, but looks like we might have to go in tomorrow and get this taken care of because we just, we're running out of pain medication here. The Advils just aren't doing it. But I wanted to talk to you real quick about the power of positive thought. And as I had said last week, I'm reading this book, Think and Grow Rich. And this is one of the great self-help and positive thought type books of all time, written by Napoleon Hill, a man whose mentor was Andrew Carnegie, the creator of U.S. Steel. And I'm early in the chapters. One of the chapters here is it's talking about a man, Edward C. Barnes. And this man had a great desire at the time to be a business partner of Thomas A. Edison. Looking back, wouldn't that have been great for all of us? But this man, nonetheless, he wanted to partner with Edison, but he had two main problems. One was he didn't know Thomas Edison, and two was the fact that he was really poor and he didn't even have enough money to get the bus ticket or train ticket over there to actually see him. Hey, how we doing there, Sharky? I see my friend Raymond Malone is watching out there from Las Vegas. Good to see you, Sharky. So anyway, this man, Edward Barnes here, he was able to scrounge some money together and borrowed it and was able to get over there and interview with Thomas Edison. And Thomas Edison didn't really think much of him and certainly didn't want to take him in as a business partner, but he did give him a menial paying, assistance job in the sales department. Now, this, of course, wasn't nothing what Mr. Barnes wanted, but Mr. Barnes had the positive thought. He kept that thought all the time. It's all he thought about. And he worked hard, and he stayed there for months and months trying to come up with ways to impress Mr. Edison and to become his business partner. And after many months had went by, he was really no closer to coming to his dream than he was when he first got there. And he could have taken a full salesman job, but he didn't want to do it. As a matter of fact, he would later state that he would rather go to his grave than not become a business partner of Mr. Edison. He stated basically if it took him the rest of his life, he would get that done. And lo and behold, sometimes your time in life comes when you have the opportunity to do something great, and it disguises itself as something else. And that's what happened here with Mr. Barnes, because Mr. Edison had perfected a dictating machine at the time, and it was a big, clumpy machine, but nonetheless, he was very proud of it and interested in it. And most of the salesmen that worked for Mr. Edison were not interested in it. They thought it was too big, too slow, and they did not think that anybody would be able to sell this thing. But lo and behold, Mr. Barnes thought differently, and he had a big interest in that. So he took hold of that opportunity, and he went to Mr. Edison and told him, I know for a fact that I can sell this for you and make you some money. So Mr. Edison gave him the opportunity, and lo and behold, Mr. Barnes became a very successful salesman. As a matter of fact, he sold this dictating machine so successfully for Mr. Edison that Thomas Edison then turned around and gave Mr. Barnes a contract to sell these machines throughout the entire country. He went around the United States marketing and selling these machines and became the business partner of Mr. Edison that he really wanted to be the entire time. He would eventually make, in the $2 to $3 million range, which is equivalent to more than $50 million today. And, the moral of the story there is that this man had really nothing but the positive thought in his mind and the overwhelming desire to stick to it right to the end. Power of positive thought and the power of persistence together. This is obviously a great book. I've heard a lot about it from a lot of people, and I'm just delving into it, and it seems like there's going to be great stories in this book throughout. And they all are probably going to lead to the same thing about positive thinking and the positive steps you take, and don't quit. Don't ever quit anything. Stay to the end. Keep going for your goal, because you know what? Most people don't realize how close they get to their goals when they give up. Some of them are just inches away. and we don't want to be those people. So that's a little excerpt from the book tonight. Didn't want to keep you on here too long. I hope I'm not boring you to death. But if you got some value out of this, please like and share. And any kind of criticism, maybe constructive criticism you have, that's always welcome by me. I'm really glad you attended. I see Corinne is watching here. And Paul, good to see you again, Paul. Paul down there in the South, representing the South. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Everybody have a good evening. Take care.